Today we will talk about one of the topics that I believe should not be taboo in our society because I feel like everyone at some point is related to that. Take we will be talking about eating disorders, right? So let's get started with a question to Tara. So if you can please tell us about what is an eating disorder.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead with the definition from the DSM-5. So the DSM-5 is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the fifth edition. So the DSM-5 classifies eating disorders as being behavioral conditions characterized by severe, persistent disturbances in eating behaviors. They're associated with distressing emotions and thoughts. And these types of disorders can affect physical, psychological, and social function. So there are several different subcategories of eating disorders. I'm not going to go super in depth into them. We're going to kind of let the conversation flow today and chat about the ones that folks have lived experience with, perhaps. But yeah, they can be pretty intense for the people that experience them.
Yeah, well, thank you. Um, as your point of view, like as a dietitian, there is like I believe there is people who sometimes come to you to ask like for a diet or something like super strict, but you're like, okay, maybe you recognize like there is a eating disorder when you recognize.
Yeah, it's really interesting because the area that I work in, like I primarily work in the area of diabetes. So I see folks who live with diabetes, adults with diabetes essentially. But that doesn't mean that that population, that those folks don't experience eating disorders. So some telltale signs that often occur when, I'm with someone, and I see that maybe there's like disordered thoughts around food, disordered behaviors around food. It kind of just depends on the conversation and where that goes. Like I will say this: I'm in no position to diagnose an eating disorder. I can identify some of the behaviors that are associated with it as a dietitian from my lens, but sometimes things that I will identify with that are things like preoccupation with food. Like if they come in and they're like, I can't stop thinking about food all the time. Like I have this food noise. They'll talk about it that way. Sometimes if people will come in and like, especially with the population that I see with diabetes, everyone thinks that I guess they believe that diabetes and nutrition go hand in hand, which yes, to a degree, we can help our diabetes along the way with nutrition, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle. There are many pieces of the puzzle, but a lot of times it just boils down to like preoccupation with food, maybe very strict or rigid kind of behaviors around food, and sometimes along with that, like things like body dysmorphia, which I think we'll probably get into this podcast. But yeah, so just negative thoughts surrounding their body, wishing to lose weight, wishing to go on restrictive diets, like all these things. Yeah, hopefully that kind of answers the question.
Yeah.